What's up, Eric? How are you, brother? How are you doing? Future whale. Hey, Jason. Sheen. How are you? Man, the family is all in here. Well, not all yet. How are you? How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? Ah, man, I am very, very, very honored to hear that. And there is the man Mario as well. How are you, brother? Um, Yes, Sheen. And you know what's crazy, guys, is aw- awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Mario. Um, yes, Eric, feet up, no worries. Eric, whenever you're in Cincinnati next in Ohio, are you delivering any lays? Make sure you let a brother know. um, so, Sheen, what news have you been hearing? Oh wow, you're very close. Yeah, Finley is not too far away. Um, I haven't been there uh, personally. I've every time I left Cincinnati, like to stay within Ohio. I've always been, Columbus, Cleveland, but any other time it would just be to get out of Cincinnati or in Ohio in general. Um, so let's see. I'm waiting to see you know, what Sheen, what news did Sheen hear because personally for me today, guys, have been, as you probably could see, the bags like since this Ramadan started and we began our fast. um uh, my schedule has been literally like crazy today. I mean, you would not probably believe it. I was up until 8 in the morning last night, all night. I was up on Pantheons, welcoming the guy back since he came back. I'm glad he's back for his podcast tonight. But I was also doing, numbers, looking at things, looking at some plays, looking at some things like that. But in the same time, reading scriptures, doing the night pray. After I finished, I came back. I was on his podcast, like listening to his radio. Then I went ahead and started reading scriptures, praying. Um, we have the first prayer in the morning. It's of the day. It's for us. It's at almost at 6 a.m. So if I go to sleep, let's say at 1 or at 2 a.m. and and wake up at 6 a.m., there's no way I could go back to sleep. So what I do is I just YOLO it out and you know I stay up because I'm doing work regardless. Um, so I went to sleep around 8 and then woke back up at exactly 9:45 because I had to do two things. Obviously, the market was open by then, so I only slept for an hour and 30 minutes. Uh, then after I finished with the market opening around 10:15 ish, I knew what was going to happen for the rest of the day. I mean, they filled up their options chain. I thought I was going to be able to make a video, but I got into a hurry to run to my business. I also shot, Danny. I told you guys about yesterday. Today was amazing. Seeing Danny and Danny ate and he was happy, and all that stuff. So I can't wait to post it on the community tab or on the shorts maybe video to show you so you guys can see Danny and he said hi to all of you. And one day I'm gonna put him on live maybe and we'll do a live there and just put it. But yeah, this is just me coming back from my business. I couldn't even do nothing with the market, but I was able to see like what were they doing with the piling up their contracts. I mean, they put so many barricades around those big strike prices, especially like for AMC, that 18 and a half, 19, 19 and a half, and 20. They just put so many, so many, so many puts on there, and they were not cashing them out just to make sure that you could drop. And just you guys would know, Just because it looks like our price is down doesn't mean we're the only ones who are losing on temporarily. In fact, we're not losing until you only lose when you sell. But I'll get to that in just a second. But they're losing also even on the options chain. If people are out there and some YouTubers are out there are telling you that they're defeating us by this, or you retailers don't know much about options and therefore that's why you lose, well, guess what? They have a lot more to lose if this thing squeezes, and that's why they are willing to lose even more. Sorry, let me just put this on this so that they don't keep getting my notifications from this group message. Because I don't want this group. Sorry. Hopefully that solved the issue. Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm back. So they are willing. These institutions are willing to lose on some contracts here and there, but they evaluate that up. Like, for example, all the institutions that placed bets on the $20 puts today, think of it like that. They have made money, but what about the ones that are about $18? What about the $18 ones? What about the $17 ones? It's not just all retail, guys. They do their part and they'll try to break you down, try to bring the price down. They will make money on a lot of these calls. That's true. But they also lose a lot on some of these. But they also stand to lose even more on borrowing shares so they can do what they need to do. They also lose money on holding that short position. So when I say that they are under way more pressure than us, like, you just have to be able to see that whole picture and know all these things to understand that just like we feel frustrated and down with what you see, that's only a trend. It's only a wave. Like, for example, next week, let's say everything starts going green, and it looks like it could. If it doesn't and it continues, the week after, that wave is gonna end. What are you gonna feel like? You're gonna be like, yes to the upside, yes to the upside. I know you're probably thinking, well, the next time it goes up, because I watched it go up from this range all the way to the 34, and now it's back down. And that's done on purpose. They do these things on purpose, guys. And the reason why, I told you from the get-go, this whole thing was about solving the issue of buy and hold. They're afraid of that. Eventually, they're gonna have to, because we've been pushing this for a long time, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud of all of us for being. I mean, this was never done before, guys. Never ever done. So many generations have come before us, and nobody was able to do this since the stock market ever coexisted. It was built to be like a Ponzi scheme so that they can, the rich can get richer. Because again, at the end of the day, you can never convince me that someone who walks in with, like Elon Musk, walks in and buys like $2 billion worth of shares, and then 2 hours later he makes 865 million. I'm not hating on the guy. I've said, I reiterated so many times. In fact, out of all of them, he's the one I like the most out of those elites out there, or elite wannabe. So at the end of the day, you can't convince me that these guys can, like anyone, it's equal for everyone. You can walk in with $1,000 or $10,000. He's going to be equivalent to the guy who walks in with $1 million or $200,000. You see what I'm saying? So ultimately, we have been doing something to not just only balance all this talk out, we are doing something that defeats that whole like pyramid scheme and everything. We're trying to balance everything out, at least for our time. And who knows, it could even change it for the ones that come after us, right? So we have to, whenever things get really foggy like this and all that, you gotta be able to have a standing to fall back on. And here's the crazier part too. If we let these people, and God could be my witness on this, and you guys will be my witness on this, the second that all people start leaving this play or saying, I can't do this anymore, this is my time, And let's say majority of the people cash in, or let's say the next wave up, people say, I don't want to be the one left holding, I just want to get out, I want to move on with my life. The second that that happens, watch a squeeze come right after it. And the reason why is because they know they succeeded at their mission. They defeated the buy and hold mindset. At that point, if that was to happen, just letting you know, guys, my opinion, not financially advising anyone. But the second that happened, watch how a fast squeeze comes. And the reason why, their whole mission from the beginning was to defeat the scary mindset of buy and hold, because that's a mindset that's going to defeat their whole diagram uh, of the pyramid scheme of how they've been preying on retail investments, and how the more powerful and the more rich can easily outplay even the more smart but less liquid enemy, or somebody else, or competition. So in this case, we're way smarter than these guys. The reason why these guys call themselves smart money is because they have a lot of money, and majority of that money comes from where? It's not like they made this money. Some of them get it. I'm not hating on everyone. It's not like I have a vendetta against rich people, guys. No, quite the contrary. I want to be one, but they get their what's not theirs by taking it, and they steal it. They do everything is wrong. Everything is just completely wrong with how they get it. They don't do it the way that we believe on how to get it. Like, we put our investment and we're holding, and we're constantly holding. They are not down with that. They're down with stealing something very quick. That makes sense to them. But since that's not the way that it works for us, we don't have insider trading or any of that. We decided, because if you don't, the only strategy that defeats all their gimmicks is buy and hold. I mean, anything else you don't have insider trading. You don't know ahead of time before anything comes out. When companies are about to release PR or whatever, or even their earnings, trust me, a lot of people will talk to a lot of people behind closed doors, and it's only conflict of interest when you get caught doing it. But we all know, you see all these congressmen, they all, before the blackout phase, all their investments are coming back 100,000% in return. You can't convince any of us. You all know this. I don't need to I'm not convincing anyone. I'm just saying what all of you are thinking. And I know many are saying it, but I'm also reiterating it over here, bringing it out to life here. They all get help. They are getting help. So when you don't have any of that, what are your chances in the stock market? It's just basically nothing but, and I will tell you this, guys, and this goes out to also the technical analysis people as well. And even though I look at it here and there, and the technical analysis is nothing but patterns, that's what it's based on. It's based on patterns. Because of this, double bottoms equals this, but it's not 100%. Bull flag, yes, every time there is a bull flag, that means there's a sudden crazy rise and a squeeze. True, but that's based on what? Patterns. Well, what's a pattern when the controlling mechanism is controlling, what the outcome becomes? These guys have all that. We don't have any of these things. So what do we have? Buy and hold. That's what we have. Or you just go ahead and read on a company. It's all good. It makes sense. You just are in a play that already happens to be a very fundamentally great play that is going to grow. They love the fact of you throwing your money in for long-term investments like blue chip stocks. That's why they make it so appealing. Like, oh yeah, you invest in Apple, you must be smart. Yeah, for the next 10, 20, 30 years until I retire, it will be like this. And they will give you all these numbers talking about, if you put $10,000, or if you started investing in Apple back in 2001 or 2005, by now your 1,000 will be 50,000, whatever the case may be. Because they want to make that appeal. They need your money. This is my point to you guys, is that they need retail, but they only need the money. They don't need our coexistence. They don't need our competition. They just need our money. Because once you invest, you think the money just sleeps in there? Yeah, they'll tell you digitally you got these many shares in this company and you see it growing, but it's not physically there. You know, these guys automatically is transferred here. This broker, okay, boom, he uses it. They keep making until you say you will have a request of withdrawing. They have a big pile of cash that they keep going to, coming out. They don't even know who hold, you know, whose is what. Go in there, grab and give. Somebody make a deposit, you make a transaction. That's why they even tell you sometimes that you know this will take 2 3 days to accomplish or to do this or to get this going, because something has to go from one place to another. And at the end of the day, they need your money, but they don't need you, and they don't want you. And that's the truth of the matter. No one likes to say it. AB don't care. AB will say it. AB will say anything. AB will say the truth. It's not that it's about what to say. It's about saying the truth. That's the truth of the matter. They don't stand you. They don't stand me. They don't stand any of us. But they do need our money to move this train, this mechanism that they're controlling. They need money. It's a money sucking machine. And when everybody puts their money in there, there always has to be a loser in order for somebody to make money. Now, here's the thing. They're very happy with that diagram. Why? Because they know that since they're the little and we're the majority, but they're the minority, that they will always be the piece that takes its chunk out, which means that that comes out of the majority's piece, which means some of us will take the hit and some of us will still eat because they need you to stay within the pie, the diagram. But they make sure that their piece is taken care of. They're always winning. Now look at this, guys. This is why buying and holding is destroying that whole image that I just gave you. I just gave you so many things I'm pretty sure that made you feel some type of way, right? The reason why buying and holding really destroys all that is because they are now, their piece is no longer guaranteed. They're not making their profits no matter what. These guys are now all losing money, and you seen it even on returns. Melvin Capital the other day, they lost 20 billion just in this first quarter alone, something like that, some outrageous number. And you see others, even banks are voicing out their financial institutions that I cover a lot. They're voicing out their frustrations. Of course, they're not voicing out the fact that they've been taking trillions of dollars in bailout money. And where is it going? I mean, I never still could understand why a financial institution would still need a bailout when your business is 100% money-making machine no matter what. You're making fees on people's transactions. You're making fees on people's overdrawn charges. You're making billions of dollars. And yet, you get to a point where you are in a bailout position and you need to bail out. Well, I can tell you why. Because the people, and this is why I've always said from before as well, that all these companies can be vulnerable, but the heads are always going to be taken care of. That's why I say King Griffin, anything could happen, but he will be walking out with all his money safely, unless he does something or something comes out on him like an Epstein situation, and he basically angers some other parties who would, other strong individuals in that club, in that country club, that eventually stand a lot of positivity by making sure he goes down. He needs to go away. He's a problem, and now they pile up on him. But if they're all together, doesn't matter what they do. I mean, how long did it take before Jeffrey got, caught and all that stuff? Many years, right? So guys, the whole thing is what this me beginning this whole live by saying these words to you is to break down to you why we are so important. Don't feel like you are irrelevant. You are the most important piece in this whole puzzle. Without you, there's no pyramid scheme. But they need only your money. They don't need you. Now we are here to change that and to make sure that is not the case. We are here to say that no, you're gonna get my money and you're gonna get me. But on top of that, they were like, okay, no, we don't want that, because now you're giving me your money and you're coming in and you're trying to play investor as well. It's not like you're dumping your money for a long time. How many of you had these people contact you and say, hey, I got these packages of health insurance, life insurance, 401ks, blah blah blah, all this stuff, everything. And then when you get these calls, you tell this person, what do I have? Like, okay, you just need to keep putting, we're going to set up a plan for you. You just need to keep putting this much, like $1,000 every month or whatever price you agree to, 500 every month. And you cannot touch that money until the decide up on date, like whether it's 10 years from now, 20 years, 15 years from now. You touch the money, then you get a penalty. Basically they make money, you lose on what you're doing. So basically the idea is for you to keep putting in money, and the minute you don't put that amount that is agreed upon, you also get a penalty. So you know that's why their model is set up so wicked, because right now if I do it, I'm setting up a plan with them. I could easily pay $1,000 or $2,000, whatever we agree upon. But who's to say that in a year or two or in 3 years something bad happened? Everybody gets that in life. Things happen to all of us at all times. It's in fact it will happen. That's just the way of life. And you couldn't make that same amount of increment of that payment on that month. In their policy, there is no, I'm sorry, a pandemic happened. Oh, I'm sorry, this happened. You just lose. Those, if you have ever received those calls, or if I know people that are dealing with this, and they actually went through this, and it was the worst experience and the worst thing they've ever done in their life. That's what they say. That's what these guys want. These institutes want this. They want your money, but they don't want your involvement, because that way they can keep that money and they can do whatever they want with it, pile up more, fill up their banks and their private accounts, and then you do your thing after. Like whoever loses lost, and we'll say you were doing bad investments, and whoever gained, you're smart. You learned what you're supposed to do. So it's a big cluster F that no one will ever understand unless you break it down purely like this and see that the person who's controlling this is the up and above, and that is going to be dealt with. That up and above is God. No, the up and above is these people who are trying to, because just because they have more money, that means they can prey on the rest of us. And the only way you can break that, guys, is by buy and hold. Whatever, even, I'm not saying you even when to buy and who to buy and what to sell. No, none of that. But even if you were to buy Sundial, I'm not even gonna talk AMC or GameStop, right? Like at this example. Like even if you were to buy Sundial, and there's like a huge crowd that buys Sundial and they buy and they hold, you're gonna stick it to them. No matter, that's why they're jumping to these gimmicks of synthetics, naked short. No one wants to pick up the bag. It feels like we're holding the bag, but these guys, none of them want to pick up the bag, and they're playing hot potato. And the government is just, most recently, the government said, no, F your NSC 2020-10. Here you go, put that away. I'm not picking up your tab. These guys are like, well, I don't want to pick up the tab. Well, DTCC is in, I don't know, So the Fed has just been playing, okay, we're going to keep giving you bailout money, but we're going to make money at a cost. I'm not just going to bail you out because I like you. No, I want to do it because I want to make money. That's the truth of the matter. That's what the Feds are doing. But in this case, me and you are both winning. This is a conversation. I'm assuming that you understand that what I'm saying is that this is a conversation between the Feds and the big institution, or these big individuals out there that are out cheating us. The Fed is saying, well, I make money by doing this, but this is good for you because you're going to, one, make money out of it. Two, it will give you the necessary time that you need to try to get yourself out of this mess. And this is why you see all this craziness happen. And I warned you guys, and I told you that every day you will see these random stocks just squeezing 100, 200, 300% out of nowhere and then dump back down. Now, with me mentioning all this and bringing that rant out, what can we do besides the buy and hold? This is the million-dollar question that people basically give you buy and hold, and they just leave it right there, okay? And that's perfect. But what can you do that that besides just the buy and hold, to keep your own sanity, to win yourself, to feel, to keep giving yourself the energy needed to keep buy and hold. Because I feel it, and some of the family reached out to me and even wrote in the comments. I'm not going to mention names, of course, and said that, hey, I'm 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 reaching the tailwind of this for me. Like, I'm tired. I'm getting frustrated. I'm down. I'm like, and it's not just one. I know it's all many of you. For the truth of the matter, everyone, even me, we all want this to be over. So what can we do besides just buy and hold, just to maintain our own sanity, to continue buy and hold, the mindset of buy and hold? Because the buy and hold is great. It's basically is their enemy for them. It's our best friend and it's their enemy. It's our sword and they're afraid of it. But how long can you hold the sword up for how long? Eventually your arm is gonna get tired and it's gonna come down. And I'm not telling you here that, obviously, don't worry, I'm not gonna get to sell or anything. Never will I tell anyone to sell or buy or even tell you anything that even is around that zone. What I'm trying to tell you is that whether they can outlast us or not in this patience, in this Game of Thrones, like of obviously of a situation, there is things that we can do around that can make us buy and hold, which is what we're doing and we've been doing, without us having to ever compromise our holding status. Like, never have to sell. Remember when Lou, a month or a couple of months ago, came out and said, hey, if you have to sell because it's holidays, just sell some of your position and do what you got to do. Hey, you do it. I ain't going to be mad at you, whatever. Well, I'm not ever going to be that person to tell you that. Because at the end of the day, when you got to take care of yourself, you got to take care of yourself. When things happen, things got to happen. But I'm going to tell you how you can prevent you from getting in that position. So you see the difference here? I'm trying to give you and some insights on how you can prevent that from happening to you. From having to be in a position where, okay, even if you've been holding for 5 years, guys, what if this takes who knows, another year? I know everybody wants to hear the place that will tell them tomorrow we're squeezing, or next month or next week we're squeezing. But again, you have to be an adult and you have to be, logic. Like, you have to use logic and you have to be logical about this. What if? You have to ask, you have to be brave enough to ask and grown enough to ask the what if. What if this takes until 2023? What if this takes till 2024? Does that mean you just sell your position and you for a loss, or you get out and you move away? Then all what you have done was for nothing. All this waiting and everything, they've been taking that money, manipulating it, making so much money for themselves. All these elites grew their wealth. And I remember quoting Sanders. What was that Democratic representative? The wild one. But I like his mindset, even though he's a little extreme. But I like him. Sanders. Even him came out and provided logistics and numbers and said that the wealthy class have gained more wealth than what Mother Earth have ever seen before in the shortest lifespan. So when the pandemic happened, and this time was supposed to be the biggest wealth transfer of wealth from the wealthiest to basically to the middle class and the lower class, well, was the opposite. It even got worse. In this, since the pandemic occurrence, the biggest money transfer that Mother Earth have ever seen was from the lower class, the middle class, and the lower class to the upper class. I mean, you've seen how they, even people like, even quoted Bezos and Musk being able to double their billions in a matter of a year. While, I mean, let it sink in, guys. If these guys doubled, look at your holding. If you're one of the ones that your holdings, or you had this much just 2020, and then by now your account is twice as less, is there any chance or possibility that some of that have went into these guys' accounts. Not just those two. I mean, those two corner basically majority of the money in the world. But the odds are it's a big yes. That's how that transfer happened. But it's periodic. Not trying to turn anyone on anything. It's periodic. They take it right now. That's why I was telling you that when you throw your money in for a 20, 30, 40-year long-term investment, you're throwing your money there. Whoever you're throwing it with, they're taking it and they're using it. They're making money on a daily basis. Pop, chop, pop, pop, pop. But they give you your 3% or 2% or 6% at the end of every year, and you're content and you're like, oh my God, I'm not doing anything. I'm just putting in my money and they bring me back a return of 6%. And they make things so complicated, the stock market, like, oh, TA and technical analysis, and when the lines go like this, and then when the bull flag and the double bottoms and the tops and all this stuff, so that you will be like, okay, you know what? Why am I even jumping into all this? I don't even have time. Like, I'm gonna stick with my daily job. Like, I don't even have time to look at companies' financials, statements, and none of that stuff. Why do I need to do that? Let me just invest my money here. They'll give me back a return of whatever, 5 to 15% on a yearly basis. And if they're bringing back 15%, that's pretty impressive, right? That's what people are used to. But if you were to use your own money on your own, will you be happy? I know majority of investors, I know myself. If I spent all of 2021 investing on my own and I made 15% run up gain than what I had in 2020, I'll be extremely pissed. I'll be really let down. I'll be extremely heated. On top of that, let alone if I came out in 2021 with less than 2020. What is this? So they're making that appeal, guys, and I'm trying to just draw a huge picture for you guys, that and I'm trying to narrow it down as much as possible, because at the end of the day, all this is a facade. They're using the money that we invested. That's why they printed synthetics, and they're prolonging this because they take it and they use it, they flip it. They're making more money on the side. You see those run-up plays on their own, side investments, left and right, things we see, things we don't see. Our money, as far as we know, as far as I know, could be right now shipping weapons. They're using it to ship weapons. They made weapon deals for that war in Russia and Ukraine. They could, like, your money and my money could be used for that right now. Could have been, and we don't know that, but we have left it in there, and we're like, buy and hold, because that is the number one fear they have. Because once that breaks that pyramid, that scheme that they have, there's no way they'll be able to have that grasp and that control on the bottom two classes, the middle class and the lower class, because that's how it is. In order for that class to be in control, they have to keep control over you and the bottom, whoever is in the middle class. Or I don't like to mention classes in general, because that's just the mindset of the hypocrisy of the elite. I don't prescribe to that crap or any of that. I'm actually the number one enemy to it, but I feel like everyone is the same. I never got starstruck or celebrity struck or whatever, or crushed or whatever. It makes no sense. At the end of the day, everybody shits, everybody pisses, everybody stinks when they don't clean themselves or shower, and everybody's gonna die. So he ain't afraid to say what's on his mind. Like I said, at all times, I will always say it, and I will keep it as real as possible with everyone, that especially the family. So you now saying, so AB, go back to what you were saying now. What is it that we can do besides buying and holding that can benefit us, besides waiting for this thing to squeeze? Well, how many other plays are in the market? If you're just thinking straight up only market, just in the market, then the solution for you is with me, and it is, do you see how many other plays? You have your job, odds are. If you're a person who invested in this and you went all in and over leveraged yourself on AMC and GameStop, one thing I can tell you is, okay, I've seen people in that position. I understand it's tough, and you're like, okay, should I get some money out from what I put in? So that hurts you in the movement more, but I'm not going to tell you what to do or what not to do. What I can say is, why not get some money from the side, whether you work, temporary job, whatever it is. Either way, you're waiting, right? It's not like It's not like a squeeze happened and we missed it over the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, right? I'm just kidding. It's a year, almost a year and a half. Still not a year and a half. So while you're waiting, get some money. And if you want to give this trading thing and this market, besides just buying and holding, give it a shot, go ahead. You will see some of these stocks. I mean, how many times have I told you that it's so like some of these stocks are the easiest to short because they go up unfundamentally based on stupid PR that they are the ones who's orchestrating just to make it seem like, oh yeah, we're not the ones who's behind this. It's just because they found this. Like, it's not. Remember that company, Nut X? Look where it's at right now. 1 day run up, all the way to the 40s. Almost a day and a half, 2 days maybe max. Ran up to the 40s. And where is it at now? You guys can go check it on your own. NUTX. And you'll see, I mentioned it on the day of that run up, and I said that's the easiest short of all time. And many more. I mentioned many more. There's many more because they're not running up fundamentally. They're running up is like that run up was completely not fundamental. It's propped up, pumped up, and then dumped down. And that's how they make their money. And that's another reason why they can also prolong it. It's not just the Fed's bailouts, it's also what they can make on the side with the bailout. So get you some money and start working other place and leave this thing alone. There's no such thing as it's either make it or break it. There's no such thing as that. You do that, you're the one who ultimately lose. They don't lose nothing. The second you sell, that's the same second they can let this thing rip. They have positions in this play as well, but they stand to lose more than to gain if they let this thing rip ASAP. Now, when will it end? You see how money is drying up. So all this talk, guys, was to give you a perspective on how to broaden out your image and broaden out your thoughts and not think today, tomorrow, next week, I'm ready for next week. If you're in a position where you have to be now, it has to be and must be now, then you're thinking of this whole thing wrong. And I'm not here to tell anyone you're wrong or right, but this is just my opinion on the matter. You need to be able to think completely more broad and ask yourself those real questions. What if 2023? What if 2024? What if this weekend? I mean, Monday. It all is possible. But how, you need to ask those questions and you need to have answers for them. If you don't have an answer for what if 2023, then there's a major flaw in your investment strategy. I can just easily tell you that. Because you only thought best case scenario, what if, what I don't like, and I don't have any solution for 2023 if it takes them to 2023 to happen. Now, is it likable that it would happen then? I don't see that like that. Now, anything is possible at the end of the day. I'm not God. I don't know the future. But I do know that, hey, if that was to happen, I have my backup plans. I have myself backed up. I have myself with this because I told you from before, I made that as a mission from the beginning. I had to answer this question when I first got into this play. I had to put all these, answer all these variables. What if, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if. And when I felt like I've answered all, nothing can faze me now with what they do. I'm already good. You want to continue? Fine. Continue doing it. In fact, I have more answers than they do. I am like their number one enemy. The mindset that I'm telling you right now is their number one enemy because they want to break that buy and hold. Well, for me, you're not going to break it. You're only making it worse for yourself because the longer it takes, I'm accumulating more of what's going to burn your house down, basically, these stocks. How am I doing it? Not just by waiting until I can buy more and go and then hope that it's next week or tomorrow or the day after. No, I'm doing it by doing it in the market. I'm gaining more experience and more experience day by day in the market, trading, learning, winning and losing in the market while that is on the back burner. I'm not touching that. The only thing whenever I touch it is to add more to it, but I'm not bringing it out or I'm not taking anything out of it so I can use use it for my personal life, you know? So, anyways, let me stop for a second. Let's go ahead and start catching up with some comments because it looks like there's quite a few. Um, okay, so Jason, I think I'm right there. I'm at Jason. Doing great. Just smoked a joint. Well, right on, brother. Da, 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 da. I think, oh, I passed that. Um Apes now fighting the Twin Towers, B-Rock and the Guard, and their NWO agenda. Hmm. Sounds like I need a joint too, Sheen. Yes, Pantheon is awesome. Again, I'm so glad that he came on yesterday. I was there for the whole podcast that he had, and it paid off too, big time. Like my eyes, you can see. Yes, Eric. Thank you, brother. Of course, it is very important. Fasting is indeed very important. As well, what do you make of the hood extended hours? Are they playing nice or is it nefarious move? Um, Honestly, I think it's just them. Let's take a step and think about Robin Hood and Weebles and Muumuus. As much hate as we have for them, like as far as what they did with the payment for order flow and all that stuff, um, they are companies at the end of the day that are trying to advance or coexist in this world. And as long as there's retail investors that are connected to the market, trust me, these apps will never cease to exist. So they're just trying to compete with the other apps like Weebles and all that. I think Weeble offers crypto wallets, for example. Robinhood is just now getting to it. I don't know if they already passed it or if it's already happening, but I think they already did it. So they're just trying to compete with whoever is in their lane. I'm not saying go open up accounts with them, guys. I'm just giving you the general idea from all around that, they're not competing with Charles Schwab or Fidelity or whatever. Each one have their client in a way. The ones that are with Robinhood or Weeble or Mumu are most likely going to be the like bottom or the newest incomers of the investing world, retailers. Basically, you're not going to see no powerhouse or you're not going to see no really wealthy individuals opening up accounts there because it's about money maintenance at that time. So odds are, if you're opening up an account in Robinhood or Weeble or whatever, it's because okay, it made sense to you, no fees. You don't know anything about payment for order flow, but you no fees. It's all free. It's amazing, and it's so easy. The platform is so easy to see. You don't have to read all those spreads. You don't have to write your own spreads, and you don't have to pay ultimately fees or anything. You win, you make money, good. So it's kind of like it's like a casino, and they just make it available for the lower end or lower class. Um, and ultimately, I think that it's a great way to start learning because if you're a person who's starting with $100 or $200, and let's say you are that person, you can't change the reality of the matter or of your life, and that's what it is. It's a great place to start, just seeing like what it's like to put a money in. Because I remember many people, like you guys know so much right now, but when people first start, they don't even understand like the buy and then the sell, how to process it between this time and that time, like all these bases. These apps are good to learn that stuff in the beginning, but once they learn, we all were there at some point, obviously, and we all transferred out of it to go to these other brokers, right? We went started going to Fidelities and TD Ameritrade. Some people started DRSing and so many things. We grew from the ashes that basically we were in. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say, or the answer to that, it's not that it's nefarious. Nefariousm is in every part of the system that we live in on a daily basis, no matter where you look. What I'm trying to say is they have their client and they will continue to have that client because it's an ever-growing world, obviously. But they're not going to compete with the others. They just try to reach for the ones that have not been able, no, the system have not reached to. You see what I'm saying? So like the TD Ameritrades, the Fidelities, the Charles Schwabs, and all these kind of brokers, they already have their client, and their client, that client that they have, will never be happy or will never be okay with a Robinhood or a Webull or a Moomoo. You know, it's just not. And neither is the client from Robinhood or Webull. There will never be fit in TD Ameritrade or Fidelity until they grow. Once they're ready to grow, like what happened with us back in January of 2021, we knew so much. We grew from that, from the the early stages, and we knew so much to the point where, okay, I know what I want now, so therefore I need to go to a place that gives me what I want. I don't want to be moving along with the herds, and that's what Robinhoods and these payment for order flow apps are. So hopefully that answers the question, brother. Redwan, what's up? Hi, bro. I actually bought some more shares, and I am, man, I'm proud, Redwan. I know that, you told me that it's getting frustrating and everything, and it is. I just addressed that for like the last 40 minutes probably, and everybody was like, oh my God, when is this guy going to stop? But ultimately, things somehow magically are rewarding after patience. Like, you just have to be patient. If things get really hard and tight, please address those situations with a different answer. You do not have to make it or break it. Like, that mindset is, you have no idea how many people I know, and I was one of them until I learned from that. You never, like, that make it or break it mindset is the single worst thing you could ever have in your life, because it stops your growth mentally and in every possible way. Not physically though, because I think physically it'd probably be good. But mentally, it stops your mental growth. You spiritually are also not going to grow, and you never see the things that happen between the lines, so that you either are going to make the wrong decision or maybe the best possible decision. But the problem with that is that it's gambling with your own life. You miss out on what's in between, in that middle, all that stuff, you miss out on it, because you're either here, you're either this way or either this way, and you miss out on what's in between, and that makes you make bad decisions. That's just how it is. It doesn't matter what isn't around, whether it's in family life, in your job, in your investments, in your stocks, all that will hurt you. So you gotta lineate your mind and oil it up in a way, and let it marinate, so that you can always be able to take a step back and just be like, you know what, okay, let's solve this situation, let's solve this problem. Clearly these guys are not giving up easily. Yes, I know that we're hurting, and I know they're definitely hurting. Whoever's telling you they're not hurting is lying to you. But what are they doing that we're not doing? What they're doing is that they're dealing with their immediate needs, while we are just, put it on hold, and we're just waiting. That's why I told you, like, that buy and hold is the only answer to them. That's the sword they're afraid of, the weapon that they're afraid of. But while they still hold in their shield, we're not able to penetrate it and, basically stab and slay them, basically. But that time is going to come. No one can ever defend nonstop and fiercely 100% all attacks. They can just continue to defend it forever. Eventually, you're going to get tired, you're not going to be able to continue. You go on attack, or you're going to get slayed. You can't just be on the defense. You have to attack at some point. And these guys, they're just on defense. They're in defense mode. I know I'm using analogies, guys, but I'm trying to get it to be a big picture. And when you soak all that in, this whole thing of when, that question of when, you will never ask it again. You will not even ask that question anymore, because you don't care about, the real question is not when, it's how much you have when it happens. So when you approach it that way, now you're going to be mentally on steroids. Oh my God, I hope it's not tomorrow. You're going to be the opposite. You're going to reverse what they're trying to work on you, what they're trying to play on you, which is, I hope it's not tomorrow, because in 2 days, I will get this much money coming in, so I can get more. Like, you see what I'm saying? The more it gives, the more opportunity it gives you to buy. When I first started, I was extremely happy to have like extremely happy, even with that price that it was low at in the upper sevens. I was extremely happy. I was like so excited to have 150 shares. And that was like, wow, that was huge. You have no idea how it makes me feel to know that I have thousands of shares now. And it's only been, what, a year and a half since the end of 2020. You see what I'm saying? The way that I was able to do that was by taking a step back and doing what I just told you. It's not when this thing will happen. It's about how much I will have or how many of these things I will have. Because first you have to make your conviction. I know that this is my conviction. This play is done deal for this EMC or GME and a bunch of other you know a bunch of other meme stocks. But I know that no matter how much you have, you can never have all of it. So therefore, I picked out my mission, and it's those two that surrounded my mission around, and I said, this is my goal, and my goal is to keep accumulating as much as possible. I'm not going to get to a number where, even if I get to, and it's highly unlikable, guys, but even if I get to a point where I have 100,000 shares and there's still no squeeze, guess what? I'm not going to stop there. That's not my goal. I will continue for 150, 200. I don't care. Doesn't matter, because that's not the question I'm asking. It's not when. It's how many I'll have when this thing happens and when this thing goes down. Uh, yeah, I can't wait, honestly. That's just the way I do it with that. So I take away the pressure from the negative thinking by doing so. And that way I can constantly look forward for tomorrow. Yeah, is it the day? No, it's not perfect. Okay, let's continue making money and add in more. Let's continue making money and add more. It's like a career. I'm making it like I'm approaching this from a career perspective, not just a temporary job perspective. And if you guys do the same, you would probably see that you will feel completely different, and mentally you'll start thinking different about the approach and how you deal with this. If you deal with it like it's a career, if you just think of it as a career, okay, great. You're never gonna have any letdowns. But if you think of it as a term, like a temporary thing, temporary job, and basically you don't get what you want when you want it, of course you're gonna be so let down, and you might start thinking crazy, like, I should literally get out of this, or I should let this go. And by the way, guys, AB will tell you will tell you one thing, and AB 100% believes in this. The second majority of the apes leave this play or give in, the other side knows that they finally have defeated or slain the monster that is called buy and hold. And then there will be the violent squeeze. And guess what? I don't care if anybody is on the play. I'll be one of the ones sitting here enjoying, the fact that, hey, it's squoze with me on it. I know that for a fact. So I don't care how many people leave. You know how many floats have been sold? You know how many synthetics exist in this? In fact, if more people leave, it might even be more helpful, because it might be logical to cover this thing at some point for them. But at the end of the day, no matter what, there will be some covering. There will be covering done. And I know one thing. I don't know about you. I hope you probably think the same way. But I don't know about you, but I know about me. And I know I will be there on that moment when they start covering. That's how I will end that, basically, question up. Sorry, this is against the AB, I'm not throwing any signs, but H-Town, if you're in the house, H-Town's for Houston. For all my non-America citizens. Bob Loco, what's up, brother? Yes, Peter. All is well, and thanks to the Most High, and thanks to the Lord. It was a bloodbath, but trust me, it's not worse than the bloodbath that they will encounter. And there was a bloodbath for both sides, by the way, not just us. For them too, there was many contracts that they lost on, just in the pursuit of trying to keep us down. Stasia showing support. I hit that like button. Thanks, AB. Well, Thank you, Stasia, and appreciate you for hitting the like button, and for everyone else that did that as well. Thank you so much, guys. Um, you guys are overwhelmingly amazing. If it wasn't for technology, I don't think obviously any of us will ever be have ever met each other, and I think that's one thing I'll thank technology for is the ability and the basically the opportunity of getting to meet all of you guys. And I can't honestly wait till one day I will meet all of you guys. I know post MOAS or at any random, even MOAS or not, I know that I would love to meet all of you guys, and perhaps we could all have a family gathering at whatever location, whether on the moon, whether on Mars, whether on in Florida, whether wherever you guys want. What's up, Tony? Number four. All right. Well, um, that's I had a very twisted mind because when you said number four on the like button, it's like, oh my God, my thought went really, really, really far somewhere else, and I will not share it with you guys. Not dirty though. I'm fasting. Stasia, that was number two. KJW, what's up? Thanks for yesterday's and Pantheon's life. Thank you for that lookout. Say, hey, you need to go to sleep to make a video. Well, I'm here. Mr. L. Oh my God. I knew I would. I felt the presence of some wolves in the house. Hi, AB. What's up, Breeze? Are we officially in bear market now, or are they just tricking us to sell? What's your opinion? I don't think we're in bear market. I think from the get-go, this market, anyways, have no standings. This market is only being propped up, and the only thing that is propping it up is the bailouts from the feds. So the only problem is that people are gauging this, and I'm not saying you, Breeze. I'm just saying like the overall image. Most people are gauging this from week to week. And the only way where while that is true to a certain extent, but that's only good for day trading. For the squeeze play, you cannot gauge it from week to week. That's what they call them, the smart money or the institutional money. That's how they're going about this. They know they're screwed in long term, so they're trying to, you know, collect all their chips as much as possible and collect as much money. So when it comes to the weekly basis, they're using PR, they're using the news that comes out of the feds, some members in the feds, which I don't understand why they get the ability of doing so, because that's insider trading. Somebody, one of those feds, like the guy from, I forgot, the federal, from Philadelphia, the president of the feds of Philadelphia, he comes out, and some other Fed members comes out and say, I think, and some Treasury members comes out and say, I think we need to hike the rates 20, 50 points or 25 points. But what's the point of doing all that? And you know that as soon as that comes out, media spins it that way, and somehow it's to their narrative. And surprisingly, if you look at, sometimes the only time I follow unusual whales on Twitter is just to see their unusual option activity. Every time this PR comes out, there's always unusual activity that happens literally a minute. A minute, somebody takes a crazy options position or some sort of buys a huge load of stocks a minute before the release of whatever news it is. And remember, Ryan Cohen had an issue with that, guys. That's why he wasn't sharing the strategies of what he wanted to do with the team and for GameStop ahead of time with all the board members, because he don't trust his own board members, and I don't blame him, because that's how the system is working. You got all these people that listen to this. The media is, we know who owns the media. I'm pretty sure you know who owns the media. So they spin that, and next thing you know, they stand to make money on a daily base from just moving the market in trends. Like, don't be surprised if next week all this talk goes away and the media starts coming out saying, well, guess what? It looks like Russia is backing up. And it looks like this. And they will use that one single detail to go crazy into the media and to come to you and to basically get it over to you and to get it over to me. And somehow now the market is being propped up, and you see Amazon is flying, EMC is making a weird run up. I mean, you remember before the last run up last week or a week and a half ago, where were we? We were in the 13s, the upper 13s and 14s. Then we ran up to the 34s. It's all like, and within 1 week, and guess what? A week after that 1 week, look where we at again, in the 18s, 19s. I'm not trying to bring a message to you. I know some of you are probably like thinking, well, why didn't we just sell, like what some of these apes are saying, sell the stock and buy back in when it goes back down? You do not guarantee. I've explained that in previous lives. One, it's still not 13, so you can't guarantee it going back to 13, even if you bought at 13. Two, when you do that, that's what they want, because they want to break the buy and hold, which means it could squeeze at any given time and you could be out of it and you could be left chasing to jump back in, but nothing close to what you could have made had you just been making. I don't mess with these two plays and I leave them on the back burner. I do all my gimmicks and all my dirt. I do it with other stocks. I'm okay with what did I do a couple of days ago with tlry. You guys know it. I had options a couple weeks back in them. Took care of it. I love the company. I love it. I love the like, you know, its position. It's the future outlook on it. But right now, I'm not living for the future. Right now, I'm living for AMC and GameStop. And I know that, again, that's my personal message. I'm not telling anyone to do anything. This is my personal mission. And that my mission is to accumulate as many of those two companies' shares as possible, because I don't care about when it will go down. It's about, for me, it's about how many will I have when that time comes, because that's what it really matters. That's the best way to stick it to these people that I know are my enemy. That's the way I view them. They want what I have, and I want what they have. And what they have is rightfully mine anyways, but they just want to continue to hold it, and they're even more greedy to take even more than what they took unrightfully. So that doesn't sit well with me. So therefore, I want to make them pay even more. How? I need to accumulate more of this, because this is where all, like, this is the spear, the tip of the spear is AMC and GameStop. Any of those two will pierce first. The other meme stocks will follow. They're just extra damage to happen after. It's not just AMC and GameStop that's gonna squeeze. I've said it a million times before any of the other YouTubers have even said it. They all said one, like they all were still stuck in that world of, no, AMC is bad, GameStop is good, or AMC is great, GameStop is shit. Like, they were stuck in that world when I was telling everyone personally. And again, it's still not proven, so I could be wrong, right? But in my world, I feel like, in my opinion, that we are all going to squeeze at the same time. It's just the tip of the spear is going to be AMC and GameStop, or one of those two. Eventually, the rest is going to follow, and they are in the same time, too, in the same time frame. And they're going to destroy that other side. So hopefully that answers the question, Breeze. I know it was a long answer, but hopefully that answers it, because that answers many other questions for others, you know, for other questions that people you might have had, but you don't even need to ask it anymore now, because AB have already covered it all in one. So whether you want it or whether you ask for it or not, here it comes. Did you hit the like, Mr. L? Did you hit the L, Mr. L? Thanks, Stasia. Exactly, Breeze. Holding no matter what. I love it. Diamond hand, Stasia. Uh-oh, don't make the wolf upset. You see all that steam from Mr. L? See, there you go. Thank you, Jay. J.A. As much as we are frustrated, I'm sure they are as well. Yeah, they are indeed, my friend. Only if you would know, guys. If you don't know, like, read up more on it. Everything that I've been telling you, go check on those things that I've been telling you, and you'll see that they are indeed hurting. In fact, I'm even downgrading how much they're hurting. Greedy frustration. Yeah, there's a lot of that, Stasia. There's a lot of that. 1 year, 2 months later, and still 2.5 times the money I put in at the current price, not selling. I'm very glad to hear that, Sheen. And you see, there you go. That I mean, I'm not approving whether you should not sell or you should sell. Again, I'm not implying anything, um, but that warms my heart to hear that, because one thing I hate the most, well, there's many things I hate the most, but this is one of them, I would say, um, is when someone sells themselves short. I do not stand to see that sight. Well, if I see it even in face, like in person, oh my God, AB will flip his shit. You'll see AB will make a scene for sure. Um, don't sell yourself short, guys. You did not come all this way so that you can um, give up on yourself. Because the single worst feeling in the world is to see something that you so hardly believed in and wholeheartedly believed in, and once you no longer, and then suddenly you lost faith in it or whatever, and then seeing it do exactly and even exceed your own imagination of what it could have done, and you're not with it or you're not on it, and you're gonna be like, it's the worst. Like, I don't think that you'll be able to get up from it. Honestly, it's just the single worst feeling. I don't even want to imagine that feeling, because it just makes me when I vomit, and I'm fasting, so I cannot vomit. I will lose my fast. So don't sell yourself short, guys. In life. um Oh, look at what I put next to my name, Mr. L. Stasia Coil. Oh, no, I see it now. Sorry. I was like, what? I've seen that before, Stasia. It's not like something new. But I see a little wolf. Is that a wolf or a pup wolf? Look, I'm asking for it with Stasia. Um, Yandes Martel. Welcome to the chat. How are you doing? I think if nobody buys or sell a single share, we will moon. We need to do it make it unprofitable for them. Well, here's Martel. Let me say this: if we don't buy, we stop the pressure. I think, okay, this is Lou talk. In a way, that's Lou talk. And again, if it's Lou talk, I don't have a problem with it. Again, everybody's liable for their allowed for their own opinion, and I don't have against. Many times I've said I don't have anything against anyone. In fact, I have more in common with anyone before I have any differences. It doesn't matter who they are. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I respect yours. But here's the thing: Lou talk says why you give them money. Well, we know that it's a broken railroad, and we've been off track for a long time. The train has just been moving like in weird directions and weird places, and now we don't even know where we've gotten. But that's only going to make it worse for them to try to steer it back. Now, I do know one thing I can tell you: it's impossible to go back. There's no way we can go back to where we railed off from. um, when you stop buying, that's the way I see it. This is my opinion. Selling, I totally agree with, of course, because again, that's what they want. That's what they need to sell. But buying, when you stop buying, I know everybody says, yeah, you probably don't have to buy, but don't sell. No, I take it a step further. I'll tell you why this is, yeah, correct not to sell, but why is it terrible? It's not terrible to continue to buy. You're not diluting the stock anymore. It's already been diluted. The fact that it's been a single synthetic share have been added to the float, it's already been diluted. So it's not, there's no such thing as dilution or anything. And when you pay money, you're not just giving them money. Uh, they honestly, even if they're putting it on the side and they're taking that money, I even say that they take that money, do what they got to do and all that stuff. But you limit how bad this catastrophe can be for them when you stop buying. When you continue to buy, This thing is only add more because they have to answer to all of these things. They have to. I mean, it only makes their rip much more violent. It's only going to be as big as as there is. I mean, come on, guys. It makes no sense that ater or whatever. As much as I was happy for ater today, I mean, it was made me happy today. Some of you know. Remember last week? Hey, ater had its initial run. Said the next day is gonna go down. Okay, started going down. That's when I would load up, and that's what I did. Not much, just the position for daily, so I can feed my appetite. I just need to stay alive for this play until this play takes its course, like the squeeze. So I took that money and I did my thing. Like I always say, I buy on days like this when the community and the ape movement needs me the most. And I did my thing, you know. I don't need to show pictures. I don't need to do anything. I've done some of that before, and most of you know. If you know, you know. If you don't know, I don't need you to know. I don't need you to believe it or not. I'm just giving you a perspective that you probably didn't think of, or another perspective that you just didn't cover probably. So as far as more buying, why not? Who's there to tell anyone? Who can tell anyone don't add more to your position? You should be content with only this much. No one can tell anyone that. So I think that it's either way going to still happen. People are still going to buy. It will slow down naturally because the time, how long this whole process has been taken, and not everybody's going to listen to AB, right? And I'm sorry for the messages that are coming anyways. Everybody's going to listen. It's not going to listen to AB. I mean, at the end of the day, you can see the numbers on this channel, and I love that. I don't have a problem with it. I don't care. I've said before, if it's even just one person that I help, you know, influence or add more to their knowledge, that's more than enough for me. That's one more person that I've helped, and that's my true objective or what I'm after is helping others. That's it. I just want to help others, and I want to expand their horizons on things that they might have not seen, or in return I might get so much from them that me myself I don't know. That's what this life is about, in my world, in my mind, in my eyes. That's how I see it. That's my output on life. So I think buying is still important. It's necessary. I'm never gonna say take off the pressure. Keep the pressure on. They even if they turn into FTDs, I'm not telling anyone to buy, of course, or go ahead and buy and go and sell. I'm just discussing the question that you've asked me, and Martel, and you know, you buy, you keep pressure on them. They become FTDs, no problem. They'll have to be dealt with later, but it's just more to deal with later. How long can they keep this on? Well, they're much weaker. I can tell you that for sure. They're much weaker than 2021, because 2021 they were basking in their triumph. They were talking about everybody grew their wealth. Gasparano was coming out saying that Kenny wants me to come out and thank you guys on his behalf for he's laughing all the way to the bank with all his money that you guys made him and all this stuff. But that was talk. They're just trying to get under your skin. But it's the truth. They were stealing all that money. Guess what? How much laughing are we gonna do when this happened? Every dog has his day. You had yours, and it wasn't even rightfully yours, as far as institutional speaking. Referring to institutions, you're stealing, you're cheating for that money. We are doing everything by the book, and guess what? You can't keep a good dog down forever. So when our time comes, it's just going to be very, very, very violent. And again, whether it's just me on this in this play left by the time this is done, I don't care if I look like a skeleton by then and I have so much gray hair and I'm like so old by the time this is over with. I'm gonna be there, and when that date is, when it's time for that to be dealt with, I'm gonna make them pay for every penny of it, for every year extra they made me wait. Okay, hopefully that answers it, Martel. Look, Mr. L approves of Stashia's wolf. I don't mind if it lasts another year, but surely it can't be in the 20 to 30 range. Radwan, I mean, okay, I see a lot. I see what you mean. But you know, even if it's in the 20 or 30, or even if it's at $1, First, there's good news that you don't mind if it takes another year. That's good news. At least you have the patience. That's step one. Step two, what does it matter if it's $1, $2, 20 to 30? I mean, what? Are you gonna sell if it's at 40 or at 30 or at 20? I mean, again, it's up to you. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Who knows? I know that from hearing you, Red One, I doubt that that's the case, but it's just psychological. This thing is psychological. If you don't think about the when and you don't think about the how much we're at and whatever, you just put them in the back burner and you keep adding to them, just prepare yourself for the battle. When the war, like before soldiers go to battle, guys, they get their rests. They get their rest, and when it's time to battle, they bring all their might out on the battlefield. So we are not in the battlefield yet. We're preparing for the war. So to prepare for the war, you guys can't be all tired and exhausted and super dead and basically lost before getting to the battle because they count on that. They're definitely going to have their rest, but we're not making it easy for them. They just know mentally that's the last thing they need is mental stress. Of course, monetary issues, all those problems, but that doesn't take them away. That doesn't take them away from. Sorry, I had a call and a message. um, so that doesn't take them away from doing what they got to do and staying away from this place. Like when they leave, all these hedge funds. Let me just tell you guys one thing. Most of these hedge funds, they have psychological entities, like well, not entities, but individuals that have offices within their divisions. You've guys seen these shows like Billions? You've seen how they have that what's her name, that chick inside, and she always acts. I don't really like her as much. I just think that she's always like she's the psychology person. That means she's always correct. But anyways, nevertheless, we're not talking about that. However, why does she have a job in there? It's because these people have to unwind every now and then. Now, of course, for us, we don't have that person to go to. You can come to AB for that. You guys can come here. We have each other for that. All of us. When I come here, I get my therapy. I swear. Even though I talk a lot and I walk out with tonsils that's this big, but I'm getting my soul. It's therapy. For seeing you guys, for reading your guys' comment, getting the questions, interacting with you guys. This is what takes all that negative energy of whatever happens on any given day out, and I'm ready for tomorrow. I'm ready for next week. I don't care. But that doesn't mean I left it and put it and left it. No, I have a mission, as I told you, and it's to accumulate as much as possible of these stocks, whichever way. I'm not gonna go put a gun to somebody's head so I can add more to my position, but that's that's my mission. And until my mission comes to an end, maybe he's gonna be fierce about it, and he's gonna be an operative, and he's gonna stick to his goals. Let's see who else. Christy, wow, what a pleasure. Welcome in here. That's another wolf. Nice talking with you and seeing you at Pantheons yesterday. It was a pleasure. Looking forward to riding one day after this squeeze thing happens, or after this whole thing happens. I know that you ride now, and it'll be fun. Montreal. The end is when GME stock split happen. Will be the end of the hedge funds, maybe a few days before GME MOAS. AMC MOAS is number 2. See, guys, here, look, sometimes, since there's so much, sometimes you get to forget about the little things, and we all talked about this in other lives, but we needed this today more than the other days that we were talking about it. The GME stock split, and we know that it's in June. When you think about it, you're like, okay, this is really early and this is really coming. If they vote GME in ASAP, or like right around, okay, hi, thank you. Sorry guys, this is my kitty. Say hi. What about You know what's funny is one of 4. Okay, you can move now. They need to see me. They don't just need to see your butt. Don't put your butt in the way. Okay. I get it. You need your attention. Um, so yes, guys. So, and by the way, guys, I'm allergic to dandruff of cats and dogs. Um, but still, oh my god, but still love these guys. So I take a pill of allergy every day, just so that I can, you know, not allow be around them, but at the same time not live without them. Um, so yeah, hold on. Let me let me deal with him real quick. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm back. he started he started itching at the door. I think he wanted to get something to eat, and I had the door locked. My door locked. Sorry, guys. I'm back now. Um, so yes, so even the questions that I've had to myself, that was a big wave of positivity with GME when they announced what they announced. Now, the final question that I have, if they approve it right away, is doomsday for the shorts, and no one will continue to ask when MOAS and when is this? I can't wait. But if they say something like, well, since we're gonna do this, we're gonna make our float instead of 300 million, we're gonna raise it up to a billion. Of course, that takes time. So when are they gonna announce that? Is it gonna be with the beginning of the third quarter, which is right after June 31st? Like Ryan Cohen is a savage, a beautiful savage. Could see him doing that. Or will they say we're gonna do that with the beginning of the new year, so it could be a whole new year? If they do that, then at least we know that time frame have been expanded to a little bit more than, you know, next month or two. It's gotten a little longer, but I tell you one thing: they will not wait until the stock split is occurring. That is for sure. Yes, Montreal, they will. The squeeze will happen before stock split happens. We just need to know when the stock will be the stock split, so that we can know or gauge, you know, like when possibly could it happen, and then you could have a much better, you know, like vision on to how long you have to be in this play. Now, could they go ahead and try to pay dividends instead of having to cover their shorts and GME? Well, that could have happened had they not kept adding and more synthetics. And this also reroutes us back to Martel's question. No more buying. Well, guess what? If people were listening to Lou's advice, then the hedge funds might be like, okay, they might put one on one together and be like, we don't need to cover the shorts. There's not that much. We didn't make that many synthetics because we didn't have to sell as many. People stopped buying. So we just, it looks more, it's more profitable for us, or it's less damage for us to go ahead and pay out the dividend than to cover our shorts, because it's not, this outweighs that. So that's why I personally, again, in my humble opinion, think that, yeah, why stop buying? If you want to buy, why stop? I'm not going to tell you to go and do it, but or sell, but I'm going to tell you why not buy more. It adds more pressure. No matter what, every single one has to be dealt with. So whether it's GME or AMC, you have to do the same thing, and more so now in GME, because if they have, the more that they synthetics that they give out, the more they have to cover when they have to come to do the stock split, because they also have to count how many short shares are out there. Like, that's why I say the more, the merrier, because the more, the bigger headache it is for them, and a bigger cluster F. I'm not gonna finish it up because I'm fasting. I'm not gonna say the F word. I was just gonna say the F. Hopefully that made any sense, guys. Thank you, Montreal, for re-bringing that up. Yes, Lee the Lion in the house. It was a pleasure also chatting with you yesterday at Pantheons, and you know what? Appreciate it, brother, for you chiming in as well. And I look forward to those fights that we have this weekend. As far as UFC fights, not us fighting. We'll never fight the lion. Do I look like fighting the lion? To lower the damage. Yep. Yeah, see, both agree. Yes, that's my feeling. And I agree. triple with you guys. Here's my thumbs up, but for you. CS Trades is in the house. The Wolf Pack is complete now. Just stopping by to say hi. This is where all the wolves are. Christy can't leave you alone. That's all she talks about is KB investments. Thanks for the reply. See you Monday live. We'll smash out. Yes, well, first of all, I'm very humbled. That's one, to know that any single individual out there even talks about me or even wants to talk about me. I can't see why, but I humbly accept it and thank you so much for it. Christy, you saw yesterday, I couldn't stop hashtagging you and obviously, texting back you and CS Straight. And you guys have no idea. The Wolf Pack, they're not just a name, they are a wolf pack. So if you don't know what wolf packs are about and what wolves in each pack to make it a pack do, go learn some more about wolf packs and you'll know they are literally name and action wolf packs, each single one of them. Much love, guys. And I'm rocking the energy. You know why? Because you guys are here. Wolfpack traders, look at them. We're all in here showing the love. Christy M. Montreal, only think the ones who, or the one who's going in the high five digits and six is GME. AMC will stay between 6K to 13K. Now that Montreal, we don't know. It's still an unknown variable. No one knows what any either will go to. I love the idea that you're saying this, like as far as because Montreal, you sound like what the beginning of this movement sounded like. I mentioned it many times before, saying that hey, we didn't have this issue of what's the ceiling and what's the bottom and what's the wall and all that stuff. We didn't have these issues in the beginning of the movement. In fact, that was the least of our problem. Our problem back then was we were still with the wrong brokers, we were whatever, but we grew out of that. But the number one thing that united us together back then was no one had an issue with what these stocks have potential to go into. Now it's the opposite. It's so weird. It's so backward with us mentally, that is speaking. So weird that we are now having that problem. Now you got a division in between the community. Some are talking about this is worth 73, if at best 100, 200. Some are saying this was 12,000 or 14,000 and now it's 500 or 400. It's weird, right? So I'm never going to say what it is because logically whoever is telling you a price, they're lying. It just no one knows what this can go to or even roughly estimate what it can go to because we don't know a lot of unknown variables that are in the background. It's just impossible. And that's why I said I don't have brackets. And funny thing is, yesterday I almost laughed when apparently Pantheon shares the same thing. You guys have heard since the beginning of my channel, I've always been answering that very same question. The first question I was asked is, what are your brackets? And I said, I don't have brackets. I don't understand like why there's something on brackets because you're putting like quotation marks and parentheses around something that you don't know is true value. And I've always referred to my shares as gold, and I want to sell my gold for the market value, not for what I think it's worth. You could be really devaluating what you're holding. So don't sell yourself short. That's why AB don't have brackets. Then I look at short interest, and then I look at the shorts, and then I look at the daily volume. And I learned another new thing from Pantheons yesterday, which apparently the Wolfpack have a lot of things they will be airing throughout the squeeze. So I'm very inclined to possibly be there, and be around them. A lot of cool things, but that's something that I guess I will ask Cam and Christy and all of you guys on their channel on Monday when I come on. Hit that like button as you come into the chat. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Christy. Thank you, Stasia. Appreciate it, Cam, and all of you guys, of course. showing love. I mean, if I sit here and just, eventually I'll end up with tears of joy and love for you guys. Kid Rich, great mindset, bro. Well, hey, guess what? I learned from you guys. I'm from the best. Thank you. Um, hey, um, thank you, CS Trades. My DD is very subpar compared to what the great things that you guys do over at the Wolfpack. I'm so impressed, and again, I'm very humbled and honored to one not only join you guys on Monday, and also on top of that, to even get this amazing words from someone I value dearly. So appreciate you, brother. PC3, what's happening, Wolfpack? Don't you see this? The Wolfpack is getting their grub on right now. Where there is a Wolfpack, there is a victim. Looks like it's gonna be AB. uh, how's it going, Peter? Okay, Hawaii's the plan with the Pantheon crew. Abdul B. Hey, well, how's it going, brother Abdul? Assalamu alaikum. Hawaii's the plan. Well, Hawaii could always be a plan. Hmm, I don't care. I don't want to sound boring to you guys and say this honestly, but post MOAS, again, I don't want to sound boring, and you guys are probably going to be like, man, this guy's lame. Um, but I know I mentioned like stuff like Florida and let's go to New York or whatever or Cleveland. I don't care. Um, but honestly, um, I want to go somewhere where there is a lot of need because at that moment after the MOAS, I know that officially uh, God has blessed me at that point. I'm just thinking into the future. And I would like to go and not be God, of course, never that. Return or re-show my gratitude to God for blessing me or sending those blessings my way, and redirect it to others. So there's I would like to go and be somewhere that has a lot of needs, and possibly, like I say, I buy my stocks on AMC or GameStop when we're having days like today and yesterday and the day before that. We have a lot of those days. But that's when I like to show up. I show up when the world needs me most. That's just me. I like that. I like to live and die with that mindset, hopefully. So I think it's gonna be somewhere that needs. And like I said before, I get my pleasure when I see it on others' faces. That's how I get my pleasure. I'm just born for others, not for myself, I guess. So if I see others who really want it and need it, or whatever it is that they need, and I was able to be a little part, because I know God never forgets anyone, none of his creations are his servant. And I'm sorry, I'm not pushing my agenda on any of you guys. I wholly respect all your faiths and all your beliefs and all that. But this is my channel, so I'm just saying voicing out my inner heart. You're hearing my heart, you're not hearing my voice at this point. You're listening to my heart, but you're hearing my voice. So yeah, I want to be somewhere where there's a lot of need for something, because that's what it's always about, and that's what I will take with me to my grave, and it hopefully will serve me well where I'm going one day. Hopefully, not anytime soon. I know you guys are listening like, man, this guy's lost it. This guy's crazy. Pam is in the house. I'm not freaking selling. Am I really that far behind? No, I'm not too far behind. Yeah, I'm like just here and there. But yeah, Pam is in the house. Always comes and delivers the energy. Pam is the best. Had so much fun chilling with you guys yesterday, Pam. All night basically, with you and Pantheon and all that stuff. So, and the rest of the crew. It was a privilege, as always. Christy's like, tacos. I'm still hungry for them from this morning. You know when by saying tacos and with all those O's, Christy reminded me of LeBron James. I don't know why. And he's like, Taco Tuesday. I know it was ugly and lame. Sorry. Willpower, what's up, brother? Hi back, Pam. How are you again? Kid Rich is like Miami, baby. I know. You're in Florida, and we had a almost a prearranged agreement. I've been to Miami as far as visits 8 times in my life. Sorry, that was a call. If you heard it, I'm sorry. I apologize. Um, but yeah, I've been to Miami 8 times, and it's crazy stories in Miami. I always say I have so many great stories to tell you guys, but every time I pop on with the intention of sharing any of them, literally any of them, we end up talking about AMC and GameStop. And the reason why is because I feel the need of needing to know what is happening and what is going on or what happened, but I also can't just overlook that and leave you in doubt. I always want to feel like when I'm leaving you, as I'm walking away, that, or when I'm leaving you guys, that you and me, we both feel better or still have hope for a better life and a better future out of this whole thing. So hopefully, I will be Kid Rich. We will definitely be in Miami at some point. I can't. There's no way, man. I will be in Miami. In fact, I was supposed to be at Key West this win. I've never been to the Keys Island, so I was supposed to go there with a group of my friends back in November, this past November. But just did not marinate. It did not come to fruition. So like, oh well, okay. Let's see. Um, KJW, man, I sure hope not 2024. But the main thing is that it hopefully does happen. KJW, that's indeed you got it right. So yes, for sure. I personally have my conviction in this plays, and I know that it will happen. And I'm not gonna. And this is not financial advice, guys. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but um, the reason why I have all my well, there's many reasons, and all of you have maybe the same reasons or different ones, but there's no way they can walk out of something that is already overbought. If all the float is bought, that's just as simple as that. All the float is bought many times over. The evaluation is wrong. The price that we're looking at is fake and it's wrong. So therefore, I'm waiting for the right price to pop up, and then we can talk. PC3, aka I'm assuming Peter, right? I'm holding until the shorts cover, and I cannot even say it any louder, brother. I just finished watching Ambulance movie. This movie is so good. Go see it. Oh my God. You know what? Now that you say that, now I want to, because I was looking on I was looking like on there's these, streaming websites and stuff like that. Um, just it's so crazy that you say that. Just last night as we were on Pantheon's panel, Pam, and when I was like, looking at my laptop and I'm looking at things as I'm listening. Then I saw it and I realized that actor. Um, I remember him from a really old movie when he was young. You remember the Day After Tomorrow when he was a kid and Harrison Ford with his father? He was really young back then. I remember him from that. I know he was in many other movies, but I was like, you know what? I want to see this movie. Is it probably good or not? And look how crazy this is. Pam, you deliver. It's like you read my it's like you read my soul and my mind, and I didn't even know it. Wow. Thanks for that. I will definitely go and watch it. It doesn't matter how long. That's what Abdul is saying. On one will make this type of money from working their whole life, point blank, period. I know I'm gonna be like, if I had like my long nails, I'd have been like, period. This is a jump start for multiple generations of your family. Well said, brother. Greetings from Long Beach, California. It's 99 hot. Oh my God. Bam, you just succeeded in crushing my my morale. I'm happy for you, but I am very very jelly now. Enjoy the 99, because apparently you got 99 problems, but AMC and GME ain't one. Abdul B, what's up again, brother? BlackRock and Vanguard own all the medias, yes, and many of these other major institutions or hedge funds own those. AMC GME is my way, and PAM, you and me are the same. Leave the line, no other plays for me. I'm AMC, and guess what? It's kind of a doesn't matter whether this or this. The way I see it, this or this, you're gonna be taken care of. And Christie liquidated all positions at a bit loss to buy and hold more AMC and GME. Christie is is a very 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 sophisticated trader. You know, they're able and technical. They're able to look past the minimal loss right now temporarily to have to experience greater gain down the line. Got to be my financial advisor, Christy. That's what you got to do. Um, big loss. Erica saying hi to Pam. Thank you, Eric. Sheen, done the same thing since last year. All in on AMC, Christy. Yeah, let them know. Gotta run. It's always a pleasure, AB. By the way, it's Stacia. Oh my God. Now, I'm not gonna have a Pantheon moment where I, go wild, but I'm gonna say, I've been saying Stacia, right? Okay, it's Stacia. Okay, well, now I know what Pantheon felt like that night. I feel exactly like it. Stacia, if you're hearing this, or if you're hearing this, that means you're still watching. Odds are you're gone. But Stacia, I will never get your name wrong again. I almost sounded like Lou on that one. I will never mistreat you again. He is funny. That guy is funny, man. No matter what, he can get your inners to smile. And I'm gonna get ready for fast breaks very soon. But always a pleasure, Stacia. Sorry for getting it wrong again. And I will run into you, I'm pretty sure, either tonight, later on at Pantheons if he's doing. If he's not, I'll see you again very soon. And always a pleasure. In the clutch is always in the clutch. What's up, AB? Joining late, had to get my AB knowledge fix. We know what we hold. And in the clutch, you couldn't be, I mean, that was a swoosh. I mean, you nothing but the bottom of the net, brother. So, thank you. I appreciate it I mean, it makes me feel very special that you hold me at that standard. So thank you so much. Zycom Kite. Hello, AB. Zycom, you still have not answered me from yesterday. Are you someone that I personally know? If no, just say no, and I will understand. But you just, I don't know why. Every time I see your name, it reminds me. I don't know why. It comes off like I know you. Frankie Muhammad, salam alaikum, brother. I pray that the creator give me the ability to learn the market like you one day. I know it's going to take some time. Thanks for content. And Frankie, God have given you more than what I possess already as far as content or as far as what I know about the market. He's given you a much broader analytical mindset that can overlook the whole image. I would only wish that I can be anything like you, brother. In fact, anything like anybody, any of you guys in this wonderful family, I'm only what I seem to be only because of you guys. So you humbling me, Frankie, brother. And again, Frankie, if you hear this, um, that's that hopefully if you're hearing this again, like I said, I would wanna come up and do something jointfully with you as well, because I'll be honored as well. Gotta roll, brother. Have a great day, and hope to see you on Monday with Cam. And don't hope unless God takes me. I will be there on Monday with Cam, Mr. L. Again, much love to the Wolfpack. Martel, what do you think it would happen if every ape buy a call for $1 strike, an exercise that uh, would would be 10 times the company already? Well, Martel, here's the thing. The problem is if you try to buy a $1 strike, it's gonna, okay, I believe, okay, here's the thing. I will explain options because that cannot happen. Here's the reason why. To buy a strike option at the $1 level, the price is gonna be ludicrous. It's gonna be extremely high. It's gonna be like probably like I don't know, like just right at the top of my head, $2,000-3,000 just to get that option. Now that's what you pay as premium. If you try to exercise that one option, you know, then you lose that premium. And yes, you will also have to have the money on hand to buy those. So if you have, okay, 10, let's say 10 contract, 10, I'm sorry, 100 chairs times $1, that's $100. But when you do the math, they've always price in the value of the premium in the fact in the fact that it can also be exercised. You see what I'm saying? So look at the premium on the $1. I see where you're going with this, but look at the premium on the $1, and you will see that you will lose the premium. And after you exercise it for $1, you have to also have that 100 bucks on you. So you're like, okay, everyone else who's listening, you're like, okay, I have everybody should have $100. Buying an AMC share for 100, no problem. But what is the premium that you're gonna pay to get that? If you calculate it, it's priced in. You know, so you could buy the shares at that same value without having to do that. But you can go ahead, correct me if I'm wrong. Look at it. Look at it. See it. Tell me what is the premium to buy a $1 strike, and just tell me how much, and I'll be able to tell you, you know, if it's worth it or not. In fact, you can do the math. Oh, okay. So it would prove that we own the company 20 times over. The thing is, Martel, the people that we're against, they're so cynical that the whole world knows what's up. There's no need for a proof. The proof is there. Many proofs are there. The only thing is, who? Okay, let's say it's kind of bringing up. It's kind of like bringing up a situation that you know it cannot be dealt with just now, just as of now, as we speak. Right now, these guys basically, as if I have to guess, they just don't have enough money to cover this situation. When they start covering, that's when you know they're ready for this. Because what's the point of, I used an analogy before, it's kind of like when you invite people over to your place. You never go and invite people over if your place on the inside looks, you know, like World War III happened in it, and it's all over the place, and you know you don't, you know, you're not gonna have anything ready for that invite. You know, you wanna you know, show up and show out. So when you invite people, you already have taken your previous precautions and all what you need in order for you, according to your own standards, to meet welcoming, or whatever is needed to welcome those individuals in, or those people in your life, to the invitation. You don't just, you know, they don't just pop up at your door. So in order for you to invite them, you prepare ahead. Same thing with display. That's the analogy I like to use, is that these guys, they know they're screwed, but they know that as long as, while they're taking their sweet time, one, they want to do many things. One, the most important thing, defeat the buy and hold mindset. Two, make as much money, because clearly the government is not going to pay for all of it. There's not enough money for a bailout of this magnitude on all the meme stocks, not just AMC and GameStop, on all the meme stocks and all the market stocks possibly. We don't. There's many other places that we just don't see what's happening with, because we're so concentrated on what we see with ours. So when you go ahead and you let this rip, let's say we prove, yes, it doesn't mean nothing. We proved so many things in this past year and a half. We proved so many things, and it was so obvious. But what happened? Nothing. And the reason why, even Gensler came out and said not more than 90% of the orders are going through the dark pool, which is why on the 18th of this month, the ATS rule is the most important rule of all rules that we need to all comment on and make our voices heard, because that regulates all the dark pools, whether it's government dark pools, like security traded, government traded securities dark pools, or regular securities like AMC, GameStop, and other stocks trading dark pools. This will regulate all of it. Like all that will regulate all of it. There will be no need for us to not know what's happening in here, because as we speak right now, the SEC have no jurisdiction in what they're doing. Some dark pools have clearance to do whatever they want. They don't even have to check or meet the standards of fair trade and whatever. Like right now, it's a wild west in a lot of those dark pools, and it's unfortunate, but everybody's sleeping to that. Everybody says dark pools, but then they turn their attention and look at payment for order flow and everything. No, direct all your attention on dark pool, because that is the gateway bridge for them that they use to feed all their infrastructure, to get to the repo and to get the money from the feds. They need the dark pools to get payment for order flow and use payment for order flow and payment for order flow apps. They need the dark pool because that's their laundering bridge to launder that through to the feds. You see what I'm saying? So I focus on the main issue, which is that's the dark pool, and the dark pools just need to be regulated. I'm not saying take them out, I'm saying destroy the corruption in them. They need to be able to give enough jurisdiction and enough power to the SEC to get everything to be reported from whatever is happening, whatever transactions are happening in these dark pools. I mean, they can do whatever they want in there, but you got to report what you're doing. And if it correlates or it's an infliction point for other investors, or for what's the word I'm looking for here, for no bad behavior, or no wrongdoing is happening in there as far as illegal trade transactions, similar to making synthetics and pump them in there and sell them to each other, and borrowing, all that stuff will be reported. If anybody gets caught with the SEC or gets caught doing crazy stuff, the reason why they're not getting caught right now is because you can't see it. The SEC can't see it. That's why when they went and looked at GameStop, that's why they came out and said there was no short squeeze. It was just nothing but a FOMO buyers. And on top of that, we didn't see any wrongdoing. Are you kidding me? The whole world was yelling foul play, and they were yelling like, this is wrong. Everybody's seen wrongdoing. But why did the SEC come back? And I don't think they lied, guys. Why did they come back and said there was no wrongdoing, there was no synthetics or whatever? Because they couldn't see them. Truthfully, they couldn't see them. They're all in the dark pools. All of them are in the dark pools. That's why the hedge funds and the market makers and the financial institutions are utilizing the living hell out of these ATSs. So I'm paying a big attention. If you're subscribed to this channel, you know AB's agenda on that, and you know what I'm looking. So 18th of April, all comments will be due. So if that passes and they implement it ASAP, I will look for a squeeze much sooner than a June split for GameStop. Hopefully I don't rant for long. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do my prayers. Oh, it's time to break my fast almost in about the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for being the greatest family out there. Thank you for liking the content. Thank you for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing. Cannot, uh, you know, give you or tell you enough on how grateful I am to all of you guys, um, and having you all of you guys. So, will I make a video tonight? There's no need. You guys don't need it. I will come probably live tomorrow or on Sunday to talk about what we prepare for. Um, it's a done deal. Like we all looking at the big picture, and that's the most important thing. It's not the small events that are happening. It's about the overall event. Try to accumulate AB. Try to accumulate as much as you can. So when it's time to roll the MOS, you can cause a lot of damage to the other side. So all that being said, guys, once again, much love, AB Investments.